there, I'm Miss Teal from the San Diego Children's Discovery Museum of Escondido, California, bringing you today an art project inspired by the children's author Eric Carle. Eric Carle often makes collages based on creatures you find in nature. Let's learn about the nudibranch. What? You don't know what a nudibranch is? Well, let me show you the collage, and then you and I will go look at some pictures of some nudibranches. Sometimes nudibranch looks like she's made of the wings of a beautiful butterfly. And sometimes she looks like she's made from feathers of tropical birds. And then there are times when nudibranch swims through the reef like a tiny sea dragon. Then there are times nudibranch goes by the name of sea bunny, and you'll find her squiggling across the bottom of the tide pool stony reef. Today, you and I are making an Eric Carle inspired collage based on our tiny dancers of the ocean, the nudibranch. Are you ready to learn more about the nudibranch and how to make this collage? Well, let's go. You'll want an uncoated dessert-sized paper plate to draw a nudibranch and to paint on. You'll want child-sized scissors, some glue stick, or just regular Elmer's glue is fine. You're going to want some water-based markers in sea-based colors, and also some crayons as well in blues and greens. You'll want more crayons in these following colors. I would definitely recommend black and yellow, and at least one other color that the children like. And then whatever inspires the children color-wise, that is what they should use as their markers today. Just make sure and limit the palette to colors that work well together. Last but not least, we'll need some copier paper. It sure would help to know a little bit more about what nudibranches are and how to draw them. Their heads are in the front of their bodies, but they don't have noses like you and I do. These little antennae that come out of the top of their heads are called rhinopores, and rhino means nose. That's how they know that something yummy is nearby. So we're going to start our nudibranch drawing by drawing a head at one end of our nudibranch with rhinopores. They're like antennas. We'll come down off the top of the curve of the plate, and then we'll give it a mantle. A mantle is the back of our nudibranch. Then we'll give it some serrate. Serrate are the little plumes, almost looks like feathers that comes off of their backs. Because they eat poisonous things, they absorb some of that poison through their serrate so that they can discourage other animals from eating them. Sometimes their serrate flows like a river down their back. Now from here, I'm going to make a little spike and spike, and another spike, a zigzag that goes all the way down the bottom of the nudibranch. These are actually the nudibranches. Nudibranch means naked lung. And that's how the nudibranch breathes, is through these little spiky branches that are off the backs of the nudibranch. Now we'll just complete her by following that line right underneath the textured part of your plate. Does it need to be straight or perfect? That's great right there. Now you can use any crayons in any water-based markers that inspire you to do your colorful nudibranch. But I do recommend that you use colors like yellows and blacks in crayon, and bright colors in water-based markers. They blend well together when you add a little water in the next step. I'm going to be getting my paintbrush wet, and then I'm just going to dab it into a paper towel. Then I'm just going to touch where the markers have been. The crayon will resist all the color. That's why I suggest using your dark colors like your blacks in crayons and your very light colors like yellow in crayon as well. It only takes a second or two to do the blended watercolor effect on this nudibranch. Now you can put that aside and we'll go to the last part of our project, the habitat of the nudibranch, the open ocean. You can see here that I've used markers in different widths. Some of my lines are thick and some are thin. All you have to do is take your marker and lay it on its side for nice thick lines. Then I use the back of crayons to layer on top of my markers. For the bottom of my tide pool area, I use black crayons, yellows, and pinks. I'll show you the technique with the crayons. It's the same thing with the markers. You're just going to take a peeled crayon, your broken ones are great for this, and make sure you're using great ocean colors. And as I move it over the top of the other colors that I've used, it mixes right on top of the paper. It changes the color. The children will love it. Now you're going to do the same thing you did with the nudibranch. You're going to dip your brush into water and then dab it. Make sure they don't forget. And then you're just going to add a little bit of water on top of your line work that you've done. As soon as your paper is dry, I'm going to go ahead and complete the project by gluing our nudibranches into their beautiful tide pool. I'm going to just put a little glue on the back and place it right down on my collage. And here's our little friend we just did. We have now completed our Eric Carle collage for today. Wasn't it fun learning about nudibranches, those beautiful little sea slugs of the tide pools throughout the world? I had so much fun and you really helped me complete this today. For more online activities that inspire and get your children's hearts, minds, and bodies moving, go to www.sdcdm.org.